In this video, I will be taking you through the proposed attendance area for the new K-9 school in the Keswick area and some of the reasons why this attendance area is being proposed. Once you have finished viewing this video, there will be an opportunity to give feedback through a survey available at epsb.ca/space for students. For now, we are referring to the school as Keswick K-9, but the Board of Trustees are excited to share the new name for the school very soon. This school will take a new, innovative approach to student learning, and we are very excited about the opening of this new school in September of 2022. Several key competencies have been identified as essential for our students to move forward in our ever-changing, complex world, including critical thinking, communication, and collaboration. This school design encourages those skills and is based on the premise that every space is a learning space. Some key design elements include flexible classrooms and maker spaces, places for gathering and collaborating, and for quiet individual work. Washrooms, student storage, and spaces for teachers to work together have been designed to ensure students feel safe and secure. Natural light and attention to flooring, finishes, and acoustics will enhance the learning experiences of all students. Once a school is almost completed, as is the case with this new school in Keswick, Edmonton Public has to determine which neighborhoods or parts of neighborhoods will be designated to the new school. This is called an attendance area. Once an attendance area is set, the school has the responsibility to ensure that each resident student living within those neighborhoods has a spot at either their designated school or, when their designated school is full and a lottery is implemented, an alternate school where there is space. Every school has at least one attendance area, but in some cases, groups of neighborhoods surrounding schools are split up into primary and secondary attendance areas. This means that the designated school is responsible to take in resident students from the primary attendance area first, and if there is space in planned classes, can also allow resident students within the secondary attendance area to attend the school. Students who wish to attend a school outside of their designated primary or secondary attendance area can attend any school in Edmonton Public, if there is space at that school in planned classes, once all resident students within that attendance area have been accommodated. In order to predict how many students might live in a new neighborhood to set the attendance area, there are a number of factors that EPSB uses, but it is definitely not an exact science. Many things can change that affect the number of predicted students. We know from the past that once a school starts to be built, more families will move into the neighborhood more quickly. The second thing we look at is the economy. If it's doing well, this likely means that more houses will be built and purchased, and the neighborhood will fill up more quickly. If the economy isn't that strong, the opposite happens. And this leads to the next factor, which is the type of houses that are being built. When we try to predict the number of students in a neighborhood, if there are a lot of larger estate homes planned, we expect that there will be less children living in the neighborhood. And if there are many townhouses and multifamily units being built, we expect to see more children living in the neighborhood. We will use all available information to predict how many students may live in a neighborhood and determine how large an attendance area should be. However, we know from the past that neighborhood plans can change, and new neighborhoods may develop more quickly than expected and generate more students in a shorter period of time. This means that a school may reach capacity sooner than expected due to factors beyond our control. The opposite could also happen where growth slows down. When the number of resident students exceed the capacity of the school, we must implement measures in our growth control model, such as a lottery, to manage the enrollment at a school. Growth control measures are not popular with impacted families, so it is better to start with a smaller attendance area and then add more areas later on if the school capacity allows. These are the various growth patterns that we see across the city in new and developing neighborhoods, and will likely hold true for Keswick. Now to Keswick. Keswick is one of Edmonton's largest neighborhoods under development. Currently, the neighborhood is only 30% built out, meaning that there is much more growth and many more students to come. Based on the information available, if growth in Keswick continues at the current pace, the attendance area options we are sharing would allow as many resident students to attend the new school without having to take measures to control growth for many years. However, should these development plans change or the pace of development increases, the school may reach capacity much sooner, possibly within a 3 to 5 year window. At that point, measures, such as a lottery, would be put into place to manage enrollment at the school. With all this in mind, we are considering 2 attendance area options for the Keswick K-9 school. The first option considers an attendance area that would include all areas of Keswick currently under development, leaving out the undeveloped southwest portion of the area. All resident families currently living in the Keswick neighborhood would have access to the school. The school would have open boundaries to start, allowing resident students from the greater Windermere area to attend if space is available. Enrollment from outside of the attendance area would be carefully managed. In the second option, we would include a primary and secondary attendance area. The primary attendance area would include all of the areas of Keswick currently under development, allowing families currently living in Keswick access to the school. The undeveloped southwest portion of the neighborhood would be included in the secondary attendance area. This means that once the area begins to develop, families living there would have secondary access to the school, ahead of those living outside of the attendance area. The undeveloped southwest portion of the neighborhood will remain designated to Ormsby for K-6 and S. Bruce Smith for junior high for the time being. Once the neighborhood peaks in terms of development and the number of school-age resident children stabilizes, we could consider bringing the southwest portion of the neighborhood into the primary attendance area. In both options, if the number of students in the primary attendance area exceeds the capacity of the school, boundaries may be closed and a lottery may be implemented for students within the primary attendance area. At the current rate of development, we do not anticipate this possibility for several years. Thank you for your interest in these proposed attendance area options for the new K-9 school in Keswick. We encourage you to complete the survey at epsb.ca/space for students. The finalized attendance area for the new school in Keswick will be shared next fall. Thanks again, and stay safe.